Husam Zomlot, thanks for joining me on UpFront. President Trump on Wednesday recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. He says that he's just recognizing reality. Israel says it's its capital. Israel's seat of government is in Jerusalem. Israel's parliament is in Jerusalem. So why shouldn't Israel's closest ally, the United States, just recognize that reality and recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel?
Actually, that's exactly the opposite. He totally disrejected reality. Because reality of the city is that it is actually owned by the Palestinians. You're talking about 380,000 Palestinians who own East Jerusalem, every shop, every mosque, every church, every school.
And what do the Palestinians plan to actually do about this? There's nothing you can actually do to stop this move, is there? You're powerless.
Well, we don't see this move really to seriously affect the status of Jerusalem, because the status of Jerusalem is enshrined in its people and nation, enshrined in the region, the Arab and Islamic world, and enshrined in international law. And actually, what that statement did on Wednesday is to show the real international consensus about it. The opposition and the criticism has actually...
So why is everyone so upset? You're saying on the one hand, you're saying, oh, it's not a big deal.
Because this is... No, it is a big deal. It is a very big deal, because it's about the status of America. It's about the status of the US administration directing such a hit on the heart of the two-state solution, which is Jerusalem, and disavowing and actually reneging on a written US promise about the status of Jerusalem and the two-state solution is a stab in the back and is a kiss of death to the two-state solution. So it's a grave matter and a strategic matter.
It's a grave matter, it's a strategic matter, and I want to get into some of the details. You mentioned two-state solution and other issues. But why is this the moment that the Palestinian leadership has decided to say the US is not an impartial broker, that, you know, it's time to, you know, end the two-state solution? Bill Clinton, back in 2000, when Camp David broke down, he blamed Yasser Arafat and the Palestinians for everything. He says all the fault of the Palestinians. In 2004, George W. Bush said to Ariel Sharon in a letter, you can keep most of the settlements in any peace deal. Barack Obama offered Israel the biggest military aid package in history, even while Israel was bombing Gaza twice during his presidency. None of those moments, you didn't come out and say, it's over now, you're not impartial. Why now? Why Jerusalem? Some would say too little, too late from the Palestinian leadership.
No, because Jerusalem is the heart of all the matter. Jerusalem is
thousands dying in Gaza when that was happening with American arms and munitions used by Israel. That wasn't the heart of the matter?
We're discussing politics now. And as far as a political strategic decision, Jerusalem is the make it or break it. Jerusalem is the gate of peace or anxiety and confrontations. We were trying to believe, and we were trying to hope against hope, okay, that the US will come to one day to its real role as an equalizer and a mediator, but to keep its policy, which settlements are illegal.
Fine.
A solution is on the 67 borders. Jerusalem is the heart of the two-state solution.
Some people would say, what do you have to show for a quarter of a century of peacemaking, 25 years or so of negotiations, Oslo, Camp David, Annapolis? What did you get? What did the Palestinians get from that?
Dismal failure in the mediator side, in the US side, and yes, America could not get itself to deal with the situation as a foreign policy issue, as a foreign...
But you were there with them every step of the way. So you can't blame America now. When America was letting you down over 25 years, the Palestinian leadership was standing with the Americans at those hotels, at those summits, at those conferences.
Yes, but the America during these years might have made so many mistakes, and they did commit so many mistakes, but America did not change the rules of the game that we engaged in the Madrid peace process 1991 on its basis. 242338 UN Security Council resolutions, land for peace, the end of Israel's occupation that began in 1967, the establishment of a state of Palestine, independent and sovereign, East Jerusalem, its capital, the illegality of the settlements. I'm talking about a written position, okay? And this U.S. policy has remained all these years.
Okay, so now it's changed.
Now it has changed.
So is cutting ties with the U.S. government on the table? Is that an option? Will you stay negotiating with the U.S. no matter what?
No. I think the state staying negotiating no matter what is definitely not on the agenda. And I believe today...
So what is on the agenda? Just help us out.
It's a self-inflicting disqualification of the U.S. as a mediator. Okay. And we believe this administration, by this announcement, has really delivered three big damages. The first is to the U.S. status as a mediator.
Yep.
The second is to the ability of the U.S. to actually bring about a two-state solution, because they aimed a shot at the heart of the two-state solution, which is Jerusalem. The third, they actually disempowered the constituency of peace. You know, the peace camp, the hundreds of millions in the region and worldwide who wants to see an end to this conflict. And they empowered who? The Armageddonists, the non-solutionists, the ideologues, the terrorists who are burning families in the West Bank, the settlers, and the settler movement who are in control. They have empowered those who do not want to see a two-state solution.
You call it a lethal blow. You use the phrase lethal blow.
I use the phrase, it's a kiss of death.
Okay, kiss of death, lethal blow.
Yeah.
So let me ask you straight up, clearly.
Yes.
Is the two-state solution now dead?
The two-state solution from the U.S. point of view and mediation is dead, yes.
That's not what I asked.
No,
Is it as a solution?
If tomorrow in the
dead?
Security Council...
No, not if tomorrow. Today.
Tomorrow,
as of now, we're speaking, post-Jerusalem, can there be a two-state solution still?
I don't like dramatic statements. You're talking to a diplomat. Let's not get mad into
it's not about dramatic. We'll say it as undramatically as possible. Is the two-state solution dead?
I said yesterday.
You say you don't like dramatic solutions. You said he shot a bullet into the heart of the two-state solution. That's pretty dramatic. So my response is it dead?
Yeah, Mahdi, it's not...
Your analogy, he fired a bullet, is it dead?
It's not my remit or responsibility to actually declare such a thing. I am only an ambassador, so I convey the messages of the leadership. Okay, so Saeb Erekat this week said, former chief negotiator for many years for the Palestinians, said President Trump has delivered a message to the Palestinian people, the two-state solution is over. Is he being dramatic as well? No, that's his right. He is the one who deals with the two-state solution. He's the chief negotiator.
So do you agree with him? Is it over?
He's the chief negotiator. Of course I agree with this.
So it's dead?
Mahdi.
I'm just trying to get clarity.
No.
The two-state solution, is it still an option? It's called a solution, right?
No.
Can it still solve the conflict?
This is being premature.
Okay.
This is being premature.
It's over.
No.
I'm quoting your chief negotiator.
Give the Palestinian leadership the ability to convene very soon, shortly.
Okay.
They will convene. A call has been issued, an invitation to the Central Council of the PLO. Let them set. This is a strategic moment. This is not a reactionary moment. The only option now available is one state, full equal rights for all people who live
some clarity.
Who live in the historic land of Palestine from the river to the sea.
That's very useful. Now we can have a discussion.
And the option of Netanyahu of an apartheid arrangements is going to be rejected, and the status quo is going to be rejected.
Hold on. Okay. You just gave a very long answer in which you said something quite dramatic, to use your phrase, that the two-state solution, one-state solution now. There's only one state, single state. That's what you're committing to. Saeb Erekat said the same thing this week.
It's not me who said. My president said
your president,
the UN General Assembly.
Okay, so the two-state solution is dead then.
He said if Netanyahu insists if the Netanyahu insists to kill and bury the two-state solution, the only option we will accept is full equal rights for Palestinians.
So as of this week, post-Jerusalem,
we believe the announcement
the Palestinian leadership, the Palestinian Authority, the PLO, committed to two states or one state? It's a very simple question. I'm just asking for clarification.
You want a strategic position now from me.
I just want to know what your position is on one or two states.
My position is that such an announcement that was made by President Trump has definitely, irreversibly damaged three things. Damaged the U.S. status as a mediator, damaged the prospects for a two-state solution because Jerusalem is at the heart of it, and damaged the constituency of peace. Now, what would be the consequences of that is something for the Palestinian national leadership to make, not for me.
One last question. As a Palestinian leader, what's your message to young Palestinians, maybe watching this show with this interview, who feel hopeless, who feel desperate, who feel the world is against them, who feel that they'll never be free, and this latest Jerusalem decision is just another blow to their hopes and aspirations? What's your message to them?
It was a catastrophic moment. It was a very hurtful moment, I understand, but it was also a moment that we saw the opportunity. This decision this announcement by President Trump has brought Jerusalem back on the international agenda. B, it has really brought the international consensus, singling out the U.S. administration out of the entire world, including the Pope of the Vatican. This is not the first time, Mahdi, from the Balfour Declaration and the British role all the way to the Trump announcement, Jerusalem remains Jerusalem. Nothing will touch its status, its identity, its belonging. The question is, where do we go now in the political and strategic sense? And I believe we Palestinians are capable. But for us, the most important side of the story is our self-reliance on our belief, which is unshakable.
Husam Zomlot, thank you for joining me on UpFront.